Hello, this is Henrik Pechman. I'm a software developer in Toronto. I was also a webmaster for a number of community websites from about 2004 to 2012, and during that time took an interest in city affairs. So this screencast is about some work I've done to reorganize the City of Toronto budget summaries so that they're more readable. And I've produced this research document to explain that. So this is a short version of what I've done. First of all, let's have a look at a sample of the City of Toronto annual operating budget spreadsheet summary. And there are, as it turns out, 53 line items like affordable housing, children's services, and so forth. And they're quite good. They're meaningful. I think many or most people would be familiar with most of these categories. What's problematic in my view is the summaries, which are not as meaningful. So, for example, citizen-centered services A and B. There's a category called agencies, which is legalistic. That doesn't really communicate a lot of information to most consumers of this budget in terms of the summaries of the budget at a higher level. So what I've done is reorganize those categories. And you'll see that on page 3 of my report. And you can see that I've taken all these detailed categories, which you can see in the bottom boxes. So over here you've got TTC under Public Works. In Public Commons you have Parks, Forestry, and Recreation, for example. In City Places you've got Exhibition Place and others. Under Citizen Support Services there are emergency services such as police and such. In Health and Welfare Services there's housing, childcare, public health, things like that. Social services, they're essentially their administrative management offices, sometimes perhaps offices for consultation with people. And then in municipal services, there's city management, which is the various offices of the high-level managers. So city financial officer, treasurer, city manager, for example. In city development services are many of the departments that people go to for consultation or permits, regulation, that type of thing. So city planning, buildings, and such. And then internal services, excuse me, has literally services that support city departments, so engineering, construction, fleet management, legal services, information technology, that type of thing. And then corporate accounts has the other types of accounts. There's corporate financing, which would include things like interest charges. There's also a rather large category called non-program expenditures. In any case, this takes those 53 detail line items and essentially reorganizes them into these 10 categories and then rolls them up into very familiar sounding what I call program domains. And I think that makes the budget quite a lot easier to look at and understand. So at the highest level, for the 2015 budget, operating budget, which consists of about $11.5 billion, you can see that municipal services, as they're organized, is about 21% of the cost. Shared services is about 40, and citizen support services is all about 40. There's a lot of information in this report. I'm just going to review a little bit of it. So there again are the details, and then those categories are used to provide detailed representation of the 2015 budget with graphs at the side. Makes it a little easier. So again, here's the shared services domain, and you can see that they consist of that consists of public works, city commons, and city places, as I outlined. And under that, you can see all the detailed line items that are included. To the right, you can see basic breakdown, a visual breakdown of those line items. So you can notice that Toronto Transit has the lion's share of public works. Toronto Water comes second. Parks, Forestry, and Recreation has the lion's share of city commons, and so forth. So it's possible to quickly scroll through the entire budget for the year and get a pretty good sense of what's going on. The report also contains time series, so the same information is available from 2003 to 2015. In this case, we're looking at information that is adjusted for inflation. Sorry, now we're looking at information that's adjusted for inflation, and you can see again the same public works category, this time with a time series that goes from all the way from 2003 to 2015. So that is another perspective that is available by reading this report. If you're interested in comparing the 2003 to 2015 figures, you can go to page 16 here, which partway down the page you'll see it has constant dollars or inflation adjusted dollars with a column for 2003, column for 2015, and then percent change. So for example, if we look at Parks, Forestry, and Recreation, you can see that the budget in 2003 was $265 million. In 2015, $436 million, all inflation adjusted, for an increase in today's dollars of $171 million, and an overall increase of 64%. So there are lots of ways to look at the budget numbers in this document. Hopefully that'll make it easier. If anybody has any questions or comments, please feel free to contact me at that email address, henrik@beshman.ca. Have a good day.